Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching Hard Copy, coming to you from our studios in Abuja. My guests tonight are Afolabi Imokwede, who is Senior Special Advisor to the President on Job Creation, and Shimite Bello, Executive Secretary of the Delta State Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency. Quite a mouthful there. Just before we went on break, we're talking about this dicey question of the fact that federal and state governments understand that unemployment is a challenge. Now, I'm wondering, states are sometimes reluctant to implement the policies of the federal government, especially if they're in opposition with, those states. Now, your state, as Delta State, is one of the 6 states in opposition currently implementing the school feeding program. And you are in charge of coordinating that.
I'm the focal person for all the programs.
Focal person for all the federal government policies in your state. How do you receive any negative look when you're trying to come up with, or implement some of these programs in your state?
No. And I'll tell you why. The first thing we did was, when we got the documents, myself and the Commissioner for Economic Planning went through it to see if it was something we wanted to do. Then the Commissioner for Economic Planning went to the governor, went through it. A few other people went through these documents. And then the governor decided I will be the best person to be focal person for the interventions. There were 5 at first, and it was drilled down to 4 interventions. Now, one of the things he wanted was, if this is going to empower Deltans, he wanted to be on board with it. He also said we shouldn't use the political structure, but we should use the community structure to select beneficiaries where we have to. So we set up a committee made up of the traditional ruler, because we have 25 local governments. Each one has a leading traditional ruler. So we put the traditional ruler, we put the head of CAN, we put an NGO, and then a selected person of repute to form a committee. Then we used existing community structures, the President General, the woman leader, the youth leader, to decide how this program should go.
Why not the political structure?
That was the first wisdom the governor had in order to ensure the program gets to the grassroots, because he wanted community buy-in in terms of how everything works. And so this was how it worked. And the traditional ruler is a very strong face in Delta State, and then picking them gives everybody peace of mind because they represent everyone. So with that strategy, we didn't have any problems implementing any of the interventions, and we had the full backing of His Excellency Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa.
Do you sense any reluctance in states that are not APC when you go there?
Well, not necessarily, and the reason is this. We were very clear, even at the time of conceptualizing this, that the active participation and partnership of the states are critical to the success of the program. These were also lessons learned from other programs where we had seen that once that was not done, then as a federal program, it's difficult to get down. So because again, with the program, with the Empower program, they're deployed to the public primary schools. That's directly under the states. They deploy to the primary health care centers. It's directly under the local governments. They deploy to the agri-development program across 774 local government. That again has, yes, it's got some interface from the federal, but then it's under the purview of the state.
Yeah, because we've seen reluctance in the past of state governments not wanting to have anything to do with federal government, or it is their program, or sometimes federal government is implementing it and they're doing it through their political structures in the states.
Yes, so those are the differences. So we co-opted all the governors. As a matter of fact, we had interactions with all the governors through the Governors Forum, where we did presentations, even also at NEC. The Nigerian Economic Council, where the acting president also chairs. And we had presentations. And we then told all the governors to appoint focal persons that will be liaisons between the states and the federal, which is what she does for Delta State. And again, even with the focal persons, we told them again, just to come to your topic about sustainability earlier, that listen, we need you to also bring in your institutional partners to all form your state implementation team.
I'm running out of time now. I quickly have to ask you this question. We continue to see a lot of angry people, young people who are upset, not happy with the country because they believe that, they're not able to get opportunities. Opportunities are not available to them as they ought to be. Now, do you sometimes sense a sense of, you know, resignation from these young people when you go around? Do you always have to encourage them, or do you see any enthusiasm on their part? Shimite?
You have to encourage them. There is a recession in a magnitude that it has never been before. No government in any part of the world can attend to everybody at the same time. They have to wait for their turn. The best way to approach young people, and this is what we apply in Delta, is to tell them the truth. So even the governor has town hall meetings where some of the youth even say nasty things to his face. So they kind of feel better because they said it to his face. And then he doesn't get angry about it because he knows there is a need. And so every time we think about how to satisfy the need, but when they see you and they can vent, then they feel better. They are angry young people. They are disappointed young people. We're working on it, but we can't attend to everybody at the same time. That's the best.
So, Afolabi, talk to the young people who are watching, because I asked them to tune in tonight. If they have a problem, you know, about job and unemployment. So, for the people you might not be able to reach, what would you say to them? Well,
so the thing is, like I said, employability and skills competence. And let me borrow Shimite's word. Certificate versus certificate.
Yes, sir.
So I think really the focus really for our young people is really to pursue competence. And that's what the platform of the NPower has offered some of them who are fortunate to be in the program. But beyond that, with every other program that would engage, really, it's really about their competency. Because once you can build your competencies, whether it's your technical vocation, there are many, I mean, Nigeria is literally a construction site. So really, we should have no business, you know, not being able to engage people. And same thing even when it comes to graduate employment as well. You know, competencies around writing skills, competencies around listening skills, competencies around presentation skills, you know, problem solving. These are really the skills that the employers are looking for. And that's what we continue to even encourage. I mean, encourage even volunteers in NPower. That's what you must gain within your 2 years. Because remember, again, it's a 2-year volunteer program where eventually the private sector would still be the recipients of these volunteers, or they may go into their own enterprise, as we've continued to encourage them to turn their passion to profit and also to form collaborative cooperatives as well.
Well, I'm afraid that, you know, it's not just spaces on government programs that are scarce. Airtime is also scarce. I have to thank you, Afolabi Imokwede and Shimite Bello, for coming on Hard Copy.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, well, that's the program tonight. We want to hear from you. What do you make of their solutions? Please use the handles on your screen. I'm Maokbe Ogun. Thank you for watching.